This Indianapolis Colts preview edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBet. Bet $100 at WynnBet and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by IPVanish. IPVanish is the official VPN of SGPN, and they're offering 70% off. You go to ipvanish.com/SGP. That's ipvanish.com/SGP. Make sure to check out our new Discord server, the perfect place to interact and sweat bets with the entire SGPN crew. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord.
Hey, it's Peyton Manning, and you're listening to SGPN. Let's ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan. Real money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
It feels like we've come home to talk about an adopted child.
What?
This Colts team, I feel like we've been high and had heartbreak on them. Carson Wentz year aside,
Yeah,
that was history. We obviously you were big Andrew Luck guy, Phillip Rivers.
Love me, Andrew Luck.
There was just a number of seasons, even when Andrew Luck just abandoned them, we found our way to convincing ourselves we should bet on the Colts from time to time. And you know, as far as AFC team goes, as I was sitting here, I'm like, man, I kind of like some of the players on this team. We were watching that Week 18 game because I was trying to get a full diagnosis if it was Carson Wentz the scapegoat, or if this team just has more glaring holes than we want to admit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to talk about the Colts.
Excited to talk about the Indianapolis Colts. How is Matt Ryan? Is he going to help? Is he going to hurt? What's our take on Matty Ice? Is Frank Reich actually a good head coach? I think that is certainly bringing in Carson Wentz after everything that went down in Philly, and he's like, no, I got Carson Wentz. We can figure this out.
I'm good. I mean, and he gets a pass for it because he was able to trade him to another team. For strangely, he was able. People
can keep talking themselves into Carson.
It
Wentz.
was your idea to bring him in the first place. And in fairness, what do the kids say? To be fair.
To be fair. Oh, listen to those trumpets blare. Just knocked out our Hall of Fame game preview podcast morning episode. Make sure you check that out. Get ready for Thursday night, the launch of the NFL. Counting you down to kickoff 4:30 Pacific. Going to be live on the YouTube. And if you want to call in, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord, tell us what bets are you getting down over at WynnBet. What are you betting on? What NFL bets do you like the most? Oh, the win total here, the future, Super Bowl prices, all courtesy of our good buddies over at WynnBet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. Sign up there, use that link so they know we sent you. And of course, not only the bet $100, get a $100 free bet, 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000 in the WynnBet casino.
#Legends only.
Yes, sir. You got to get over to WynnBet. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. Offer subject to change, terms and conditions at WynnBet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right, let's talk previous seasons for the Indianapolis Colts. 2020 saw them go 11-5 with Phillip Rivers, 8-5 against the spread, went over their win total of 9. Last year, 9-8, 10-7 against the spread, went under the win total of 10. And of course, that key loss against the Jacksonville Jaguars to knock themselves out of the playoffs in hilarious fashion. They needed someone else. Didn't they need the Steelers to win as well?
There was, I have a note, like, let's not forget the catastrophe that the Colts created at the end of the season. I mean, I do have noted that the Steelers got in with a negative point differential. I do. Well, it was a Colts loss, a Steelers loss, and there was another
Steelers win.
Sorry, Steelers win, and there was one other outcome I believe that had to happen. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, was it a tank job? Is this how you get rid of Carson Wentz?
Oh no, they definitely wanted to get into the playoffs, and they actually had a run there in the middle of the season where they kind of looked pretty good. I think they were they had like a 9-game run where they were 8-2, including 4 wins over playoff teams.
Yeah,
they destroyed the Bills 41-15.
Yeah, they started 0-3 too. This was a team, and like you mentioned, they had some nice looking wins. Who knows what beating the Cardinals on the road really means, but I think when we went back and watched that last game, it was evident to me this was not a Carson Wentz collapse. We were watching a play where Carson Wentz gets sacked and fumbled, and is the fumble Carson Wentz's fault? Probably, but
yes,
there was also a complete blown block by right tackle Braden Smith, who's still there, one of the quote unquote anchors of this offensive line. Quentin Nelson, again, the offensive line took a little step back last year. They were not a dominant force. Jonathan Taylor covered up a lot of things last year. And I think you're going to hear the Colts are an interesting team because you look at last year and there's a lot of basic ass regression indicators that people are going to point to, right? They're going to say they underperformed Pythag by 1.6. They had the seventh best point differential, plus 86 points, but they only mustered 9 wins. Now, here's where I would say touche. I'll come back at you because they were plus 59 versus the Texans. And so maybe all this regression is just the fact that they played a really we like them this year, but they were pretty empty last year. And so, yeah, I do wonder if this team really is a team looking to take a step forward. Sure, they underperformed in close games last year, maybe a Carson Wentz thing, but you could argue that Matt Ryan has some regression coming because we said it in the Falcons preview. He was 7-2 in close games last year. So, I have as my first question mark, is Carson Wentz really is Matt Ryan really an upgrade?
Interesting, because in my notes I have Matt Ryan sucks, and I was doing some deep dives. Pythag actually points to Matt Ryan sucking. Last time he won double-digit games was 2017, and he had a pretty good team around him. Last time he went over 10 wins, which is what this win total is set at, was back in 2016, his MVP season. His MVP season, he was only 11-5, so even that season, not really historic by a lot of accounts. Look at Matt Ryan last year's on the Falcons towards their win total. 2021 under, 2020 under, 2019 under, 2018 not another under. You're wrong. Under 2017 where they won 10 games. That was a push most places. And then 2016 they did go over. I think they were like maybe 8.5 or whatever it was. But when they won 11 games, they went over. Every other time they went under and they got that one push in. So I think it's interesting because you think any quarterback besides Carson Wentz is an upgrade, but Carson has that up and down. Like there were, even just rewatching that Jags game, there were some plays where you yourself, Ryan, said, well, Matt Ryan's not making that play. Matt Ryan's not making that throw. And I think there's the positive with Carson Wentz that he does bring to a certain degree. But I don't think Matt Ryan. I think Matt Ryan's variance will be much lower, but I don't know if it'll necessarily equate to more wins, possibly less.
So, I think, some of the things that people will say, you will hear people say.
Yes.
And again, we've established I don't actually listen to many other voices, so perhaps these are just my own internal projections. But you'll hear people say, "Well, Matt Ryan didn't really have a receiving core last year." Well, let's talk about his receiving core this year. It's Michael Pittman and who? Rookie Alec Pierce, second wide receiver Mo Alley Cox.
Yeah,
it's Naheem Hines and Jonathan Taylor in the
T.Y. Hilton not on the team.
Not on the team. So I think you can make a lot of the same claims. Yes, Jonathan Taylor's great. Yes, the offensive line should be better. But again,
I don't know about
they
that.
lost Glowinski, one of the guards, which I think part of the strength of that team was their interior. You pointed out, Sean, they're bringing over former Eagle. I'm blanking on his name.
Matt Pryor,
right tackle.
No. So Matt Pryor,
or was he on the team already?
Yeah, he played a little left tackle at the end of last year. Right now he's taking every rep at left tackle, so it seems like he's won the job as the starter. Now he looked okay last year in limited time, but Matt Pryor, the Eagles drafted him in the 6th round as a guard. Now the Eagles aren't one, they build their team around the offensive line. If they thought Matt Pryor was capable of being a starting left tackle or even the swing tackle, I think they would have figured out a way to keep him in the building. I think as a Colts fan, you have to be a little scared of the tackles, both the right tackle and left tackle. Matt Pryor, again, he was drafted as a guard in the 6th round. Maybe he is that miracle thing, and maybe he learned a lot in the Eagles organization and is just blossoming at the right time. But I still have a ton of questions, especially for a guy like Matt Ryan, who is going to need an amazing offensive line, especially for a veteran quarterback like him. Phillip Rivers succeeded with this team, but I think that offensive line,
Phillip Rivers was a much better player at that stage in his career. Is that a hot take?
I don't know if I would say much better.
Okay.
I think they set him up to succeed really well, and I think part of that was that really good offensive line. Now, I don't think Phillip Rivers didn't have Jonathan Taylor, so that would have helped him. And that certainly is what Matt Ryan has going for him. But there's also been a number of injuries. Like Quentin Nelson, as good as he is as a guard, he's been missing games, I think, every season the past couple seasons. So I think that's something to be worried about. Like PFF had the Colts at number 10, and they're like, oh, it could be higher if these tackles work out. I would counter and say the idea of both the left tackle and right tackle working out for this team, I think is it's a bit of a long shot. So Quentin Nelson missed 3 games last year. He hadn't missed previously. I was incorrect on that.
There's always, and that's scary because if he goes away, all of a sudden this whole, Matt Ryan's getting a huge offensive line upgrade. All of a sudden, is he are we sure? Yes, to start the season, I do think it's there, but maybe it's a little bit more fragile than we like to expect. And I think coming back to Matt Ryan, you were mentioning how there are ways to look at Matt Ryan where he doesn't look all that good. There are many ways to look at Matt Ryan where he looks very average. Intended air yards, though, this stood out to me. His intended air yards per pass attempt was comically low. He was only ahead of Jared Goff, Big Ben, Andy Dalton, and Tua. Are we sure this is a guy that's going to be able to get the ball down the field? He's old. We know for a fact, unless you're Tom Brady, or really it's just Tom Brady at this point. When it happens fast.
Yeah,
and it's steep. And what have we seen? He was average last year. Do we really think he's going to take a step forward? He's going to be average even if he does take a step forward because of that age regression. I think there's a very good case that he looks horrible. And if this offensive line isn't what we expect it, if it doesn't come close to its ceiling, this could be a long year for this team. Because on the flip side, I have a note about their defense last year, Sean, because I like their defense. I like a lot of players on the defense. I will say they were getting owned by the Jags offensive line that last game of the season. Their offensive line was getting owned by the Jags that last game of the season. That's concerning to me. Colts defense was 13th in EPA per play allowed. If you remove turnovers, right? Like this team was exceptional at turning the ball over. If you remove turnovers, they rank only 23rd. Will they be able to rely on the turnover, Sean? This is another very strong regression indicator, right? Not only that, they also were one of the top teams in terms of points gained from turnovers. So there's a massive turnover regression happening. There's a storm coming.
Storm's brewing for this the regression there.
I've made the case as to why, to me, there's more cases where this team is what they were last year or a slight step back.
Yeah, and we're noting as far as strength of schedule, according to NFL win totals, 3rd easiest. So I think that could certainly help them. Some of the teams they're playing, I don't think the division is going to be as much of a cakewalk as it has at times for the Colts, although they figure out a way to lose that game in Jacksonville every year. And again, I pounded the table to make the Jags the dog at plus 700. Dog. And that was a sweet cash. Darius Leonard, rewatching that Jags game, Darius Leonard and DeForest Buckner, the announcer even goes, they got a lot of Pro Bowlers on this team, but we haven't called Darius Leonard or DeForest Buckner's name at all.
Heard a lot of Trevor Lawrence all the time in the world. Shaquille Leonard now.
I do think something happens to defenses when they're out on the when the quarterback starts turning it over and it just puts all this pressure on the defense.
It was 3-0. It was 0-0.
I think Carson Wentz brings some.
They win. They're in the playoffs. I hear you, but
Matt Ryan, I think I was trying to think of the best football term that would apply to Matt Ryan, and I just kept coming back to the word dildo. He is just a dildo. Like
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like Colby was calling him a lawn chair and that, but it's like he's just it doesn't. There's no oomph. There's no, Matt Ryan's going to carry the team. He's going to make this crazy throw.
I'll take you to step further.
Wentz at least had that a little bit. He also hurt you, but there's just no rallying around Matt Ryan.
It's a variance thing, right? Like Carson Wentz would at least every once in a while make a play where you're like, oh wow.
Crazy less variance for Matt Ryan, but I think they almost needed a couple ceiling plays.
Here's the difference. It's not like we haven't seen Matt Ryan make fucking awful plays in Atlanta. And so again, I think the basic argument that this is going to bring stability to the team, I agree, less variance. We just laid that out. But I think there's a strong case the offensive line is not as good as they were last year. I think,
double-digit interceptions 4 out of the last 5 years, 3 of the last years for Matt Ryan. I think he could turn it over. And looking this up, he tied his career low minus his rookie year for touchdown passes, sub 4,000 passing yards for a guy who started 17 games in domes. That's not good. Now maybe there's a world where, they certainly offensively, Frank Reich really just tried to not ask Carson Wentz to do too much. He still found a way to fuck it up. But maybe there's a world where they play super conservative with Matt Ryan, pound the rock with Jonathan Taylor. The defense takes a step up. What about Eberflus? No Eberflus.
We haven't talked about the defense. So let's talk about the defense. So, there is an interesting. Buckner. We like Buckner. He's a good player. I think we like Leonard. I think the pieces are there. They brought in Ngakoue, who that was a trade, I think, with the Raiders. Ngakoue is a pass rusher who, in theory, it's nice to rush next to Buckner. So he's a fun piece. Sean, how do you pronounce his first name?
Yannick Ngakoue.
Did you know it's actually unique?
Unique?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to our friends.
YANNICK.
Shout out to the Green Light guys.
Really?
Learn that listening to him on that show.
Okay.
I was like, that's kind of a badass name. But I think he's a fun, he's a guy who could potentially show out. He's always kind of been more of a maybe not getting all the sack numbers, but lots of pressure numbers. So look, what do we think? End is question.
Yeah. What
mark.
do we think about Stephon Gilmore? Does he have much left?
He was good when he was healthy last year.
Yeah. And only started 3 games for the Panthers. So again,
he was good when he was healthy.
11 starts the year before. So again, bunch of
aging guy. Who else? What else we got back there? We got, we like Kenny Moore.
Yeah. Kenny Moore, slot corner. He's good. They did benefit. This was a nugget from Football Outsiders.
Kwity Paye. He was all right for a rookie.
Yeah, you're right. 37 drop passes by opponents. The Colts benefited from.
Lucky.
So that's pretty nice little pull there for them. Frank Reich though, overall 37-28, 1 playoff win. I think he's been solid, but again, they've had pretty quality teams. So
he's got to be involved in the decision to continually bring in an old quarterback.
Well, I think the problem with this Colts team is they feel close because they've had pretty good rosters. So if you're if you have this roster that the Colts have, it's tough to justify completely blowing it up, right? So. And if you're going to bring in a veteran, you don't get Russell Wilson, you don't want to be in on Deshaun Watson.
People have to know when to
Like,
call.
what are your other options?
All right, let's blow your mind real quick.
Yeah.
5th quarterback in 5 years. That was kind of crazy when I wrote it down. Yeah, because Luck quit right before the season started in 2019. They feel like they're close, Sean. They haven't won the division since 2014. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
And they've been pretty decent.
They've been the favorite in a lot of these seasons.
Yeah.
Choke job. One more for you, because this one is relevant to our bankrolls about 5 weeks from now. Colts have not won a season opener in 8 tries. 0-8 in their last 8 openers.
Now and they're at the Texans.
They beat the Texans a combined 62-3 last year too.
Oh, come on. Davis Mills, bulletin board material.
Dog.
I feel like, again, this is, wait, you said they've lost their last 8 season openers?
Yeah.
Cause in my head, I'm always like, fade the Colts week 1, and they're always playing in like Carolina, Jacksonville, like a team you think they should beat. It's this dome team going down in that Texas heat. Is that a dome? The Texan stadium?
It's open. The humidity will get in there.
All right. That's all we need to know.
It's an open air
Davis Mills
facility.
Throwing darts all over the place.
Also, in your division, you got to be able to win your division. Like, if you want to be a team that takes it to the next level, you got to take care of your division. Last year, 0-2 against the Titans, gave up a combined 59 points. 1-1 against the Jags. We just watched the game. They had a real hard time getting any pressure on Trevor Lawrence in that one.
Yeah.
They did own the Texans, but yeah, I just Sean, late ass bye week. We'll get to it in the schedule. Week 14 bye, but it is a very easy
How
schedule.
did we do with our 2021 predictions?
I was 9-8. So the number we picked it at on our preview was 9.
Okay.
Per my records. I went 9-8 and an over. You went 8-9 and under.
Okay.
And I think we graded it out as a push.
I'm gonna grade it as a win for myself.
That's fine. It's typical for you to.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing 10 for last year.
Yeah,
maybe,
I'm looking at the sheet we used.
Yeah,
so
well,
that's probably more of a record of truth, but that's all right.
Record.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
They've been good against the spread past couple of years. So that last year 9-8, 10-7 ATS. Year before that 11-5, 8-8 ATS. So they've been decent ATS. We'll see though about this season because it's gonna get interesting. Any thoughts on the draft class? Impacting them right away. Alec Pierce, maybe he does something, but again, it's a rookie receiver. It could take a little bit. Looks like they added, Bernard Raymond, who looks to be the backup left tackle right now. Maybe he gets a chance to start. I'm still worried about that offensive line. I think that's
group
a big
of 5 level tackle. I wouldn't feel.
We
great
have
about
buried
that.
the lead though. They did bring in Stephon Gilmore, Philip Lindsay.
Dog.
Imagine this world ride. Jonathan Taylor goes down. Philip Lindsay is your workhorse back. Yes, please. Love Philip Lindsay.
The
Broncos did him wrong.
We were talking about the back end. I do think Brandon Faison, we'll see. He could be a nice piece depending on the system. But I also think they're changing their system. Have you heard much talk about this?
No.
Well, again, what's the Eberflus effect?
Oh, on defense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what does it mean when Gus Bradley comes to town? You're not running the same system. From what I understand, Gus Bradley is like an exclusive cover 3 guy. So, maybe it's not a huge difference, but if you're a defense that relies on turnovers, it feels like you're going to put your pass rush more on an island here and your back end. And, Gus Bradley, of course, coming from the Pete Carroll tree of you need corners, you need a good defensive backfield, you need an elite defensive backfield. And I don't know if that's the elite unit on this team. So also I know Gus Bradley has had success, but fuck Gus Bradley.
Why don't you like Gus Bradley?
Just something about whatever went down in the Atlanta time. I don't know. I have just a note. Fuck Gus Bradley. But no, I do think they're it's not a 4-3 to 3-4 switch, but it is a different philosophy of defense. And so will be interesting to see if some of the pieces that really worked, like the Leonard really worked in Eberflus's system, really worked.
Yeah.
And so let's see if it works the same way. But I mean, for me, the biggest thing is I I envisioned last year not as the Atlanta Falcons are a trash team pulling Matt Ryan down. I think Matt Ryan fell down off his mountain bike because he had too many natty ices, fell off the cliff, managed to grab a hold of someone else's climbing rope, starts one by one pulling people off the mountain. And I think we could just be watching him on the way down. What makes you think Frank Reich and this organization is good at selecting the right quarterback? They're grabbing guys on the way down. Philip Rivers, Luck retired. Philip Rivers retired. Carson Wentz should retire. I don't know.
Yeah.
We should really walk through the schedule because it is the second easiest projected according to win total. A fun fact about last year, real quick, Sean. We both went 8-9 ATS. We only disagreed on our side for 3 Colts games.
Wow.
Like 4 or against.
We saw the Colts a similar way.
Yeah, mediocre though at picking them.
All right, we'll get to the schedule here and some future picks. Before we do that, shout out to Odds Trader. That's right. Go to oddstrader.com/Blue Wire, ODDS Trader, TRADER.com/Blue Wire. Again, great place for you to head. Compare all the best offers from the major sports books. Find the best prices for each side. You know, I'm looking at the Hall of Fame game. They have, hey, this is the best price if you like the Jags. This is the best price if you like the Raiders. This is the best price if you like the over, the under. Great for shopping baseball lines as well. And again, great for getting the best sign up bonuses. Also, they have a bet tracker. Again, all this stuff is free. Projected game day weather, key game day stats, handicap and info, play-by-play updates. Again, what at the very least you owe it to yourself to see the best offer, so you make sure you're not missing out. oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. And Ryan, we're also brought to you by IP Vanish, your lead pipe lock. When it comes to internet security, you can be virtually invisible online. You know, if you fire up incognito mode, they can still get your information. They can still hack you. Not with IP Vanish. They encrypt all your data, make sure your connection is safe and secure. You can hide your physical location or change your physical location. You can use that on a streaming device too, like a Fire Stick. Great for maybe doing some sports stuff, crypto stuff, whatever it is. We use it for God's eye. Highly recommend IPVanish.com/SGP. 30-day money back guarantee. Unlimited devices won't slow you down. IPVanish.com/SGP.
Nice work, Sean.
Thank you.
Schedule.
What do we got?
Again, reminder, second easiest. Objects may appear closer. All right, Colts. Which, by the way, I was going to make a joke earlier with the 5 quarterbacks in 5 years. If you turn the logo to the side, it does look like a Chicago. So maybe they have a similar curse we're working out here. Is there an Andrew Luck curse? It seems like it. It's not getting.
They do
fixed this
feel
year.
a little cursed.
All right, listen to this schedule though. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, easy start. At Texans, at Jags,
Okay.
Kansas City, Tennessee. 3 divisional games in your first 4 weeks. That's actually that is very unique in modern NFL, right? Like most
they
teams
save a bunch
pretty
for the end.
backloaded. If you're the Colts, I don't know if you want to see these teams early, do you?
No, and again, I
so
think,
much variability in that.
I think Doug P might have some inside info on how to beat Frank Reich. I like that. We obviously like the Texans. I think they're going to be a feisty home dog.
Well, the last time the Jags and the Colts played, the Colts were getting eliminated from the playoffs.
Chiefs, that's always going to be tough. Titans as well. I mean, I think 2-2 would be generous. I know maybe the listeners some listeners would lean 3-1. What are you doing, Ryan?
Some listeners.
I mean, am I crazy to go 1-3? Probably. But Matt Ryan, don't underestimate Matt Ryan's ability to lose games.
Matt Ryan on tall grass in Jacksonville too. I mean, that's
going to eat him up.
All right. So they like, if you look at the odds, they're -8, -4.5 in those first 2 games. They're definitely losing one of those games.
Right.
Kansas City, they're going to be a short dog at home, and Tennessee, they'll be just the standard favorite there. Tennessee has kind of had their number.
Yeah, I think I'll go 2-2 just to lean towards the generous side. But again, I could see them going 1-3 those first 4 games.
I mean, golly, do I want to say 1-3? But yeah, let's be fair. Let's be fair. Next 4. We have a primetime game Thursday night football at Denver. That's
Phillip Rivers revenge game, or no, sorry, Phillip Lindsay revenge game. Someone asked in the chat if Easy asked in the YouTube chat, again, youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast, if we thought Phillip Lindsay was going to get any.
I hope so, but no.
No, unfortunately not. I think Naheem Hines might get some passes, but that's about it. You have Jonathan Taylor.
All right, so we got at Denver on Thursday night football, mini bye. Then we got the Jags at home. Then we have at Tennessee. Oh my!
What a weird schedule.
Divisional games are just at Tennessee and then Washington at home.
Commander Wentz revenge game.
Well, if I have them beating the Jags in the first spot,
they'll beat the Jags at home.
No, they split with the Jags more than they do. The Jags play well against. The Colts.
You had them. You had the Jags winning. See, that's why I don't specifically lock it in.
But you're right. I'm switching to 1 and 3 for the first 4 because it's going to screw up the rest of my schedule. Then all right, so I'm going
at Broncos.
Loss. They lose the road games, win the home games.
Yeah, I'll go 2 and 2.
Carson Wentz revenge spot.
Again, I feel like 4.
Damn.
I feel like 4 and 4 is.
No, I'm going 1 and 3 again.
Really? Okay. You could talk me into being low on this Colts team, but
at Patriots, at Raiders, Eagles at home, Steelers at home.
I'm gonna go 1 and 3. I think this is where it falls apart a little bit for them.
I'll go 2 and 2 here.
New England, I think, matches up well with them.
Wait, so you were 2 and 2, and then you're going 1 and 3 here.
Yeah, so I'm 5 and 7. That's 5 and 7 is a Matt Ryan record if I ever heard it.
That's Steelers.
They'll just be in the hunt graphic. You know, Irsay will be out there talking about personal responsibility. Meanwhile, he gets arrested with like a briefcase full of drugs and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Anytime Jim Irsay like talks about him on the pulpit is always entertaining considering his past. 5 and 7. Oh man, I wish I could take a side bet. Will the Colts be 5 and 7 after 12
Steelers
games?
Are Monday Night Football as well. All right, next 4 at Cowboys on Sunday night.
Can't give the Cowboys a win. That's going to be tough.
Then we have a bye, very late bye week at Minnesota coming off the bye week. Chargers on Monday Night Football at Giants.
Ooh, this might be a
3-1.
Yeah, this might be a get right situation for them. Okay, yeah, I can go 3-1, and then I'll have them 8-8.
And then they have Texans last game of the season.
And then they'll win. They'll beat the Texans.
They'll need that to get in the playoffs.
They'll beat the Texans and then miss out because of a tiebreaker. That is my official prediction. They go under 10. They win 9 games. They do not make the playoffs, and they lose as a tiebreaker in the wild card. That's my official Colts prediction. Yes, 9 and 8 is a perfect record for this team. I mean, I could see it being 8 and 9. It could be at 7 and 10. 11 wins. Does this look like an 11-6 team to you?
We're just
before you head
lock
over
up another under for me.
Yeah,
I'm 8-9 actually.
Okay.
I think, and I'll step out of line here and you just pencil me in for missed playoffs right here.
Yeah. So again, all right, and 10 is on the screen. I don't think we even actually gave it out. So win totals 10. Pretty even juice right now to win the AFC South. They're a -115 favorite. No, thank you. To win the AFC, 11-1. To win the Super Bowl, 22-1. Make playoffs -150. Miss playoffs +123. Yes, please. Matt Ryan to miss the playoffs, and you're giving me plus money.
I think it's 125.
USA. What a country, Ryan. Imagine a world where you live.
Matt Ryan's not in the playoffs, and if he is, we're gonna bet all of the money.
It's a win-win. You bet whatever one unit is $1,000.
No, we don't talk in units, dude. Just throw your cash.
Whatever you're betting, bet it on them to make the playoffs or miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
If they somehow make the playoffs, you're betting the hell out of them against them round 1, and you're gonna win it back. It's like roulette. You just keep doubling up until red or black hit. Ignore the outcomes of the.
Well, actually, that was a really uneducated thing to do.
You can't just blindly play first half unders because that is like not a good EV opportunity. It doesn't matter if you win. It's not what you should be doing.
Imagine being.
The math says that is a bad idea, regardless of whether it's fun and you win bets. I don't like it.
Imagine being told for a decade that first half unders are a negative EV thing. Under 9 Sean, should we add that to our board?
Yeah, under 9.
Well, what do you like
change.
better? Miss playoffs plus 125 or under 9 plus 200?
Oh, I like under. Well, I like.
Let's just do both.
Yeah, I'm gonna do both.
No.
So under 10, probably like minus 110. Under 9 plus 200. Miss playoffs plus 125.
Love all of it. I have another one for
All
you.
feels great. I mean, honestly, obviously the lock of all locks is under 10 because even if they, to me, exceed expectations and get you to 10-7, that's a push.
Where's 11?
11-6.
No, this team's not.
11-6.
Matt Ryan doesn't understand how to win 11 games.
He's the last time he did it. I mean, think about it. You probably didn't even have an iPhone.
No.
It was 2016.
No.
Maybe
It was the same year that the paint didn't dry in the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, exactly. You remember that? That's crazy. 2016.
Both happened a long time ago. I've been time traveling since. Most this and Sean, sit down here because I know some people may say that Matt Ryan really good at taking care of the ball, which is true. But when quarterbacks fall off the cliff, we saw Peyton Manning throw his fair share of interceptions at the end. What do you think Matt Ryan is to throw the most interceptions next year?
Well, and I don't think I'll bring up the depth chart, but I don't think they have anyone behind him.
40-1.
Yeah, and I guess I would say it's probably 40-1 because they're not going to let him throw that much. Oh shit! Never mind. You know what? This
What just happened?
can we restart the episode?
Why?
Because I completely forgot the Colts signed Nick Foles, and I remember I asked WinBet to put Nick Foles MVP. So this is going to hinge.
Oh no,
Ryan, you want to see me pull a 180? Wait till when Matt Ryan gets knocked out and Nick Foles come in. Oh my god!
Should we
Long cocks.
should we just cancel this episode? Will we run through the schedule again?
Yeah, and then I'll have to figure out which
they
game
win the
Nick
last
Foles
8
comes.
games.
I mean, Nick Foles, Frank Reich, getting the band back together. I'm going to be really torn. As soon as they get rid of Matt Ryan, though, I'm all in on the Colts. So I stick to all my unders, but just beware of a Nick Foles magical run, Ryan. Just beware. That's all I'm saying.
That's so funny. You looked at the depth chart and got so mad. So mad.
So, and again, I think maybe Matt Ryan's leash is a little shorter than we think because, you know, you have someone like Nick Foles
Long cocks.
sitting in the number 2 spot. That's got to be in the back of Frank Reich's head if he's seeing him struggle.
I have some. Do we want to do some props?
What do you got on the prop? So I'm passing on the most interceptions for Matty Ice.
41. That's fine. I was throwing out some ideas.
Yeah, I
Here's
like
another one.
ideas.
Unique Ngakoue, most sacks 50-1.
Okay.
Or you don't want to go that crazy. Over 7 3/4 sacks is minus 120.
For Yannick
I think
or
he's gonna,
Unique.
I think he's gonna. I mean, he's gonna be the guy who's not getting done. I mean, you got Kwity Paye, you got DeForest Buckner. Anyway, I also we can revisit that in the division preview maybe. I also am gonna go right to the. Please don't tell me they took it off the board. I want to play. We're going to talk about. I'm going to find
Yannick. Unique did have 10 sacks last year, so
and I would argue the situation has gotten better.
yeah.
Again, if you like the Colts, especially, it's a fun way to play because I think if they're much better, it's because the pass rush is most sacks.
Well, what is he? What is Unique Ngakoue to win Defensive Player of the Year?
Oh.
I wonder if that's a better bet because I feel like if he leads the league in sacks, I still like my Max Crosby 30-1 Defensive Player of the Year. Made a case for that one because I think having Jones across from him, the division he plays, and he's just like been dominant in all those like pressures, hurries, QB knockdowns, except sacks. So he's primed for like a massive sack year. But what is Ngakoue for
80-1.
80-1? All right. I'll do I'll throw a little sprinkle on most sacks at 50-1. Or
most sacks or Defensive Player of the Year.
Let's go Defensive Player of the Year. Cuz if he has the most sacks how does he not get that right?
Well, I think if their pass rush gets there this year, they most likely at least have a good enough team to get in the. I mean, remember this team was favored to win the division before they signed Matt Ryan. I know we didn't mention that this entire show, but they were the favorite to win the division even without Matt Ryan. So, I guess tread light. I would say tread lightly with this team because man, I don't know why they are continually getting respect. Like you pointed out, they're kind of underperforming.
Yeah, I think people were just lazy and said like, "Oh, hey, Carson Wentz cost them everything. They were 9-8 last year. Oh, they'll be 10-7 this year." But if you take a little deeper dive, a la what we do here at the Sports Gambling Podcast, the left tackle situation to me is really troubling. I think the offensive line.
Yeah.
I think 10th is like everything goes right, no injuries, and they're completely steady. They're very thin depth wise. Like you look at they don't really have a swing tackle. They have a guy they drafted in the 4th round or whatever. But other than that, the other guy's banged up. Like any sort of injuries to the tackles, I think they're really in trouble. And I think the tackles could be in trouble, period. You do have Jonathan Taylor. I think Frank Reich's a competent head coach. I do think Eberflus did a little bit more with this defense than maybe we'll get with Gus Bradley. And again, I'm just out on Matt Ryan. Like he got to those 7 wins with a historically bad point differential. So like he had everything break right for him math wise, and he still only got to 7 and 10.
Like you say, math wise. Yeah. I really think the key to unlocking your vision, a vision of the under on this team is to really just kind of dive into how this team performs in division, period. But I mean, again, I'm going back multiple years, and this is the other bet I'm going to throw out because this actually might be more of a lock, Sean, than the under 10, although it's close. Under 3.5 division wins.
Okay.
Plus 135. Think about what that means.
Nah.
No.
Oh wait, 3.5.
3.5.
So they have to get to 4 to cash it. Is that my immediate reaction was I'd rather have missed playoffs, but let me think on that. 3.5.
I love the.
I mean, again, I'm not super high on the Titans. Even like I think of these two, I would take the Titans, but our 20-1 Texans to win the division, I think is pretty interesting.
I think the Colts could have a decent season and split all their division games.
Yeah, they could certainly go 3-3 in division. 4-2, that would involve them sweeping one of these teams, which maybe they sweep the Jags. That's not crazy.
Well,
like
it would be the Texans. They
I think they could.
They've owned the Texans.
I think they could hypothetically sweep the Jags, split with the other two, and still miss the playoffs. So I'm gonna stick with just miss playoffs. I'm not gonna add the division win total, but I appreciate the offer.
What if I told you they have not gone over 3.5 division wins over the last, or actually the entire time Mr. Frank Reich has been there?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. And shout out to Easy in the YouTube chat throwing this one out. I'm going to add this as well, and we will be doing more player prop stuff, our locks when we do the division previews episodes coming up. But Matt Ryan under 24.5 passing touchdowns. Yes.
Ooh. Let me put a player prop up here.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a second one for you. I like it.
Even again,
what was the number?
24.5. So he has to start basically 7. He started 17 games last year, only got to 20.
What did he have last year?
20 passing touchdowns in 17 starts. He's getting old. He's getting up there. I mean, they're going to run an offense. I think they're going to, in the same way that they tried to hide Carson Wentz, I think they're going to try and hide Matt Ryan. Although I guess Carson Wentz did get 27 passing touchdowns. I just don't see it with Matt Ryan. I think 24 would be like a ceiling case for him.
Pittman.
And when in doubt, take unders on any of these, especially older quarterbacks. Like some of these guys are going to get hurt.
Someone who has not established himself yet, or maybe two guys need to do that, or they won't have much for him to throw to. I mean, honestly, we recorded the week 1 DFS episode earlier, and one of the things I did not note it, but when you go deeper, how does Pittman not end up with 30% target share. Who else is getting the ball?
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
No. Yeah. Big
eight straight openers they've lost. Don't forget. Yeah, the division nugget about them not winning the division since 2014 is insane.
That is crazy.
That's an insane nugget. All right. I think we gave out a lot of picks, a lot of bets for the Colts.
Yep.
More than normal. This is fun.
Yeah. I mean, again, we're taking a position here. We're out on them, except Yannick Ngakoue. Matt Ryan under 24.5 passing touchdowns, missed playoffs plus 125, under 9 plus 200, and then like minus 110. I mean, again, lock of lock cities, and I could see this being my lock for the division. Although I don't know, the Texans might have to be the lock there. And
you can have
10.
You can have more than one lock.
All right, we're gonna have
management has approved that.
Call us the locksmith. We're bringing you locks left and right. All 32 NFL team previews. Again, tune in tomorrow, 4:30 Pacific. We are doing a special pregame show, NFL Futures Q&A, leading up to the kickoff of the NFL season, aka the Hall of Fame game. Toss us a nice rating review for a chance to win. I'm gonna up it up to a $50
Jesus Christ
SGPN gift card for Merch Monday. There's a ton of cool stuff. We got mugs now, hats. Ask me about my
puzzles.
Yeah, puzzles with Ryan's face on it. Draft day is coming where Ryan's gonna draft best ball teams for 24 hours straight. It's raising money for a D-Gen only who unfortunately was in a pretty bad motorcycle accident, Daryl. So we're drafting for Daryl. Gonna raise some money for a good cause. That's kicking off Tuesday at noon Pacific, 24 hours straight. And again, toss us a nice rating review on Apple Podcasts. Screenshot it when you're submitting it, and then click contest in the SGPN app. Submit it there for your chance to win free gear every Monday, aka Merch Monday.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Sean, 5 overs and 11 unders.
Kramer, let it ride.